you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited to chat with you today and have you on an episode.
Thank you.
First off, thank you so much for letting me get to arc read this one. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to get to chat about it. So, to our listeners, we have contemporary romance author Jenna Rogers with us today, and I would love for you to describe a little bit of what readers can expect from this closed door romance uprooting.
Uprooting is a brother's best friend, small town cowboy romance, and it follows Jax and Lauren. Lauren just broke up with her boyfriend a couple months ago because she found out, well, actually, her fiance, she found out he was cheating on her. And that's kind of where our story starts, is a few months out from that. She's kind of just trying to navigate how to move on in life. Her dad is going through some health struggles, and she winds up in the local bar where Jax just happens to be a bartender. And their story kind of starts from there, and Jax trying to help her through this because um, he cares for Lauren. He grew up with her through being best friends with her brother, and they decide to make a bucket list of sorts to help Lauren kind of come into herself and figure out who she is outside of this relationship. And their story just goes from there.
Okay, I think that was the perfect way to set it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about the story is how many of my favorite tropes you put in there. What made
I
you
love.
choose those?
Um, I think a lot of it came from just what I enjoy reading myself.
Hmm.
I love small town romance. I like to call it like an ensemble cast, but
Yeah.
like in TV shows and books, I just love when you get all these characters together and you have like maybe the main characters, but you have their friends, and then you have like the quirky, I don't know, older person who likes to gossip and just all those different things. Like I love that. So that was definitely like the inspiration behind the series. And then I think just I wanted to write a brother's best friend. I don't know what it was, but I was determined, and it just kind of came easily. The bucket list one, that one was a surprise. I think I just had to, like, I had the idea of wanting Lauren to kind of bloom, and how was I going to do that? And that was what I decided.
I think that was a really fun take on it, and maybe not necessarily what someone would actually expect. Like sometimes you can sort of like have it in your mind, like what the story might include or, where it might go. And that was like unexpected, and it was really enjoyable and really fun.
Mhm. I'm a big list person myself too. I think like every summer when I was younger, I used to make a list of things I wanted to do in the summer, and even now, like I moved a year ago and started a new job, and I made a list of things I wanted to do now that I was free from this job that I wasn't a big fan of. So I'm a big list person myself.
Oh no, I totally get it. I'm the same way. So
Yeah.
it's very relatable getting to have that in a romance book. Even getting to have like that was like a fun little thing. And then you had everything just all together, like the brother's best friend. It was like sort of like the forbidden when you get like into that. And I just love contemporary romances that have like the little cowboy bits and pieces to them. So I really
Yeah.
liked that too.
Good.
I also love the title.
Thank you. I'm low-key so proud of myself because I don't think I'm very good at coming up with names for things, and I really wanted, with the town being roots, I wanted there to be a theme with all the titles. So the first book is Putting Down Roots, and the second book is Uprooting, and the third one will have the word roots in the title as well. Um, and those actually came really easily to me, which is a rare thing. I think it was just meant to be.
Yeah, written in the stars.
Yeah.
I'll have to definitely go back and read the first one, and I'll be waiting to read the third one. So where did the inspiration sort of come from?
They're in the first book, and Jax is a little bit more like you kind of meet him, but you don't get to know him as well. But the first book you meet all three of the female main characters. Like they are a friend group, they're all involved in that. So you get to know Lauren and um in the first book she's with her cheating fiance. So
Oh, gotta have that in there.
yeah. So that's kind of fun to get to see that like evolution of her from start to finish too.
Oh yeah, it would have to be like, was it sort of full circle getting to write the first one and then know that she was with, you know, seeing that she was with a cheating fiance and then getting to give her a whirlwind kind of forbidden romance in the next one.
Yeah, it's fun. This is my first time writing a series as well, so it was interesting to have to really plan. Like, I had an idea of where I want each of the main characters' stories, each of the books to go. Um, but then I'm I'm not a big plotter, so I always get into writing the story and things just pop up. So having to figure out in book one how to lay out the story to get me to where I need to go for the next story and hoping that I do a good job of setting myself up. Like don't get too detailed, but do a good job of setting it up. That was hard for me, but it worked out.
Oh, 100%. It was a slam dunk on your end.
Thank you.
What does the writing process sort of look like for you if you're not a huge plotter? Do you just sort of go with the flow? Do you just like have rituals where you sort of sit in silence for a little while or
Um, it's honestly a little chaotic for me, which is I'm such a type A person, so the fact that I don't plot is like it's hard for me, but I've tried and it just every time like I'll end up going off in a different direction than I expect. Um, I do have a note in my phone, so whenever I come up with ideas, like I'm writing those down. Um, and I have a notebook as well that sometimes I'll like write things out where maybe I've had ideas and I have to kind of go through and like sort out the order of how things are going to happen. I love physically writing things. I found that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, but a lot of times it is kind of just sitting down and maybe I have like a gist of what's going to happen. Like I do like to leave off. I found that like for my writing, it helps if I leave off in a place where I know where I'm going next.
Yeah.
But I don't always like I have a broad idea for the story, but all the little details, like I don't know what each chapter is going to be. I have no idea how many chapters I'm going to have or where the story is going to go. I just have this broad idea and I kind of just see where it carries me.
I love that though. You sort of get to like be almost surprised like yourself a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, I like to say the characters definitely like they choose what they want to do. I think there was a point while I was writing Uprooting and I remember texting my boyfriend saying like Lauren and Jax are not cooperating. Like they were supposed to do this and they're not. Like I had this idea in my head and they decided they don't want to do that. So
Oh my gosh. I think that's it. It just is the testament that like you really do love your characters when you start listening to them instead of the other way around.
yeah. Yeah.
And it makes it very entertaining for you. And then when we get to hear behind the scenes of that and what it was like for you, it makes it entertaining for us even more so. So,
Yeah.
so did you always want to be a writer or how did that come about?
Um, I think starting in fourth grade was when I would tell everyone I wanted to be an author. Um, I didn't always stay on that path. fourth grade was when we first learned about narrative writing, so writing fiction stories, and I was obsessed. And I had this amazing teacher who taught us all these like songs for different writing devices and things like that. And I don't know, I loved it. And I would go home and write my own stories. I wrote like a love story, of course, that took place on the Oregon Trail. And I wrote stories about like cows. I'm pretty sure they fell in love too. It
Oh my.
was yeah, but I love to write. And as I got into, I think, middle school, I started writing like a newsletter that I'd send out to my family. Um, and then I said, oh yeah, I want to be like an editor. I love to read, and being an author is just not realistic. Like you don't make any money. And but I got to college and I ended up studying accounting, so that's my day job.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, I'm an accountant by day, and then I write on the side, and I love it. And
Well, hey, you get the best of both worlds like that.
yeah, exactly. Definitely an interesting pairing, but
Yeah, was not expecting that duo right there, but that
yeah, yeah, most people don't, but it works for me.
yeah, exactly. And it clearly is working for you, like you said. And I am so happy that I got to read this book by you. I can't wait to read the next one. Did you have a favorite moment while creating this story in particular?
Um, I'd have to say I'm so obsessed with the poker scene. Um, it's my absolute favorite. I laugh at it every time, and I would blab to my parents all the time, or my boyfriend, like anyone who would listen while I was writing this. I'm like, let me tell you what I just wrote. It is so funny.
Oh my gosh, I love that. When I
Um,
got to that part, it took me out and I was just done for.
Yay, that's what I was hoping for, to make other people laugh as much as I did, because that one was a lot of fun, and it actually was inspired by a song that's on the playlist.
I thought you was
There's a
gonna say
song
true
called That
story.
Dog. What?
I thought you was gonna say it was inspired by a true story.
No, not quite. Yeah, I don't know how I came across this song, but it's called That Dog by, I think, Kaylee Hammock. It's on the playlist.
Oh
And
yeah.
I heard that song and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to make this into a scene. This would be hilarious." So,
Okay, that's like perfect though.
yeah.
And one of my favorite things is when books come with a playlist inside, because like I was
Mhm.
having the time of my life just reading through the songs before even starting the book because a lot of them were some of my favorites.
Oh, yay. I love that.
Yeah, 100%. So like are you listening to them as you write or do you just like figure out which ones you want to include?
They're a big inspiration for my writing process. Like I get a lot of ideas from songs. I don't love to listen to music while I write. Like I kind of need to be focused, but if there's certain scenes where I mention a song, I will listen to it kind of as I like write, and usually I'll listen to it and then I'll pause it and then I'll like write something, but I kind of like try and play it with the scene to see how it would flow. And like I pay attention to, okay, when is the chorus, when is the beat drop, like just like different things. I don't know, like, okay, is this realistically okay? I'm picturing this playing in the background as they're like dancing or they're talking, like is it realistic to have this dialogue with this part? And yeah, I get a little specific. I love music. um so some of it is like while I'm drafting, some of it gets added in later, just listening to music and knowing the characters better. And I have it on Spotify and I listen to it all the time just for fun by myself.
I love
um,
that so
yeah.
much. Music has been a part of my life since I was little, and I now play like 7 instruments.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you. And so it's just always been there, like whether it's playing or just listening, like I've always had music on in the background. And like now, if I'm like doing house chores and cleaning and like doing
Yeah.
laundry, I'm just like blasting it from the living room. television.
I love it. I love music. It's always been something like even in my debut, I don't think I have the playlist written out at the beginning of the book like I did for the Roots series, but I have a playlist and I think it's on my link tree. But it was like a huge inspiration for my writing. And the name of the book actually was initially The Songs of Summer, and I had changed it a little bit because um, I had kind of cut back on some of the references in there, but I love music so much. So.
Well, that's like a really, really cool way to like sort of to enjoy a little piece of each in that other, atmosphere.
Yeah, it makes me so happy to hear that readers like you are like listening to the playlist and stuff because the hope is always that it enhances the reading experience. And so I love that you recognize some songs on there and that you listen to it.
Oh my gosh, yes. I kick my feet when I see a playlist. And then when I was seeing so many songs from Megan Maroney and like so many of my favorites, I was just like eating it up.
Yeah. I love it.
And now I'm definitely gonna have to go back and listen to the one about that inspired poker. And I love that for a dog name. Like I never would have thought of that.
I honestly don't know how it came to me. Sometimes like I don't know, like when people ask me later, oh, like how did you come up with that? That's a good question. They just were, but yeah, I thought it was cute.
Very cute.
Thank you.
So, what are some of your favorite characteristics about Jax and Lauren?
That's a great question. I think something that I love about their story is like the tenderness of it, and I really appreciate well, I love A Man Who Pines. I love reading that. So it was really fun to get to write that with Jax. And there's a few parts in there, like early on in the book. I remember there's a scene where Jax is at Lauren's house and he's shirtless and making her pancakes, and they decide they're gonna go, I think, work on the ranch. He's gonna help Lauren, and makes a comment about like I hope you have a shirt lying around because that's very impractical for ranch work. And he kind of teases her like, "Oh, were you looking?" And she's like, "Yeah, right, you wish." And he says something like internally to himself, like I've wished that Lauren would notice me since the moment I met her or something. And I love that. That's so fun to like to read, and it was fun to write. So I love that element of it. And I think the just the way that they both come together and really allow each other to be who they are and try and help each other be better. Like they see each other for their flaws, they still love each other through it and want to help each other grow through them. And that to me is very beautiful and something that I really wanted to focus on was like accepting each other's flaws and then figuring out how to help each other grow.
Okay, that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
And I love that you said that because it's like, with it being dual point of view, like you were able to connect with each of the main characters and it wasn't like one
Mhm.
overshadowed the other. Like sometimes you get that in a book.
Yeah.
You feel like, okay, well, now FMC is the main character and this is her love interest, but this one really was like two main characters falling
Hmm.
in love. Like
Yeah.
it just really worked.
Thank you. It was interesting writing the first book in the series that is also dual point of view, and um there were times where I struggled to figure out like how to switch back and forth between the two. And with this one, it was, I swear, it was just like naturally every other chapter. Okay, like here's Jax's. Okay, now it's Lauren's turn. Now it's Jax's turn. I don't know. It flowed so easily, which was really nice.
Yeah, you can definitely tell there's a nice little groove going, and it seemed like they
Mhm.
switched at like the perfect times.
Good. I love it. I love to hear that.
So, would you actually say like that's sort of like what inspires your stories is you write what you love as a reader?
Yeah, I think definitely taking from what I enjoy as a reader, there definitely is a little element of like real life in my books. Like in the first book, the main character Olivia deals with anxiety. She works in public accounting, and that was what I was doing at the time when I wrote that book. I was working in public accounting. I was dealing with panic attacks and anxiety, and I always want to put things in my books that I think other people can relate to. And the hope is that people will feel a little less alone in the world reading that, seeing that someone else has experienced it, and maybe get some hope that they can kind of come out on the other side of it. In Uprooting, I don't have a cheating ex-boyfriend or fiance, but I
It's a
did
good thing.
relate to, yeah, thank goodness. But I did relate to Lauren's struggles of just like constantly trying to take on everything. Like, I didn't know that that was necessarily what she was going to struggle with when I first had the book. I knew it was going to be, okay, she's getting out of this relationship. How does she move forward? And that was initially the sole focus of Lauren's character. And as I started writing her, it kind of came through like that she has so much on her plate and she's trying to take on everything, and she doesn't like she knows that she needs a break, but she doesn't see how she can take it. And that was kind of the stage of life that I was in at the time. And so I wrote that and like channeled that into her with the hope that other people could relate to that too, and um, learn that it's okay to ask for help and to try and get some rest. It'll help you be more productive. Speaking from experience.
Exactly. I think it really does make the stories connect that much more when you can see bits of yourself inside of it.
Hmm.
And so I always love getting to see people that deal with the same like struggles, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically. I think that's a
Yeah.
really great way for authors to do that.
Yeah, I think I mean, I enjoy reading it when I know an author has gone through something similar. They portray some struggle that they've had. I think it just makes it a little bit more personal, and um, that's always what I want to do in my writing.
Yeah. So is contemporary romance like your favorite thing to write?
Yeah, it is the only thing I've written so far, and definitely where I plan to stay for the foreseeable future.
Well, that's great. And I love a good contemporary romance. Like they're just so moving.
Hmm.
Like, and it has so many different emotions tied to it. So I think it always makes for an interesting and entertaining time.
Yeah, I do love, there's something about having these like realistic scenarios where you can relate to them in real life, and then also the romance element, knowing that things are always going to end happily. I appreciate that.
100%.
Yeah.
So, who are some of your favorite authors or some of your favorite genres to read?
Um, I pretty much only read contemporary romance right now, and I think a lot of that, like I grew up, I loved fantasy. That was what I read a lot in elementary school, middle school. Probably read a little less for fun in high school.
I think we all did.
And so I would love to get back into that at some point, but I think with my writing now, I try to read a lot more of what I write with the hope that it'll be like inspiration, good way for me to like learn from other people. Um, so that's primarily what I read now. I do, not that this is much different, but right now I'm reading Catherine Cowell's Sparrow Falls series. I love a good romantic suspense. Anything with the suspense element, oh my gosh, it sucks me in, and I love that.
Exactly. That is my same thoughts, and Catherine Cowles is one of my top favorite authors ever. So,
Yeah. Oh gosh, I always forget the names of the books, but it's the second to last one with Ellie and Trace, and it's fun.
oh my gosh, I can't think which one it is. I get them mixed up like you. Like, I have to
Yeah.
literally look and see what order they are. Like, I can't just think
Yeah.
and figure it out.
Yeah. I'm like, you would think I would know because I'm currently reading it, but I just I don't know, something about the titles just always slipped my mind.
Me too. And I've arc read a couple, so it's just like
Mhm.
I cannot tell, like my brain does not log chronologically which came first. So I'm just
Yeah.
Google's my friend. Goodreads is
Yeah,
my friend.
exactly. Exactly.
Well, I love that that's one of your favorite genres or your favorite genre to read as well as write. And I definitely can see how like if you enjoy it, like it just sort of shines through your books, so then readers even enjoy them even more.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting. I know there are some authors that like don't read what they write.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's, I don't know, some value, I guess, in writing what I enjoy reading as well. So,
Yeah, it would have to be really fun.
yeah, it's definitely, I have found like since starting to write to kind of turn my brain off when I read sometimes because it is hard to like, I start getting in that writing mode and think too much about the story and like plot things and all these things. And, but I think I do a pretty good job of just enjoying for the most part.
Well, that is a really good way to enjoy like all of the different aspects and like really live it up. That way you're getting to do both.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as this episode is dropping, Uprooting is your newest release. What do you hope readers take away from this storyline?
Um, I mean, I hope they come away with it with, I mean, I hope it makes them laugh. I hope it warms their heart to follow this love story. And I hope that they see through the characters that, I mean, kind of what we talked about earlier, like Lauren's struggles, that was definitely a big focus in the back of my mind when I was writing this. And hope that anyone who can relate to Lauren's struggles can kind of get some hope that it's okay to ask for help and to pause every once in a while and kind of come up for air and enjoy life around you, take a pause and allow yourself to recoup because it is hard when you're just going, going, going all the time. And I know that feeling of urgency and you never really get to stop and like appreciate the life around you. So I hope that people can kind of see Lauren's struggles and see how there's a way through it. Um, there's a light at the end of the tunnel and that things can get better. Mm-hmm.
And I think they will pick up on that, and I think it will resonate with a lot of people because, like I said, I loved the book, five-star read for me, and I just loved how it included, so many fun tropes, but then so many like real and a little emotional topics that
Yeah.
has a little bit of everything and
Mm-hmm.
all the feelings that you deal with in everyday life.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I know we don't want to give away any spoilers, of course, but I do just want to tell you how much I love the epilogue and bonus epilogue.
Yay.
I was
I
not expecting a bonus one either. Like the first one was amazing, and then when I turned another page and seen it was a bonus epilogue, I was like, "There's two?"
I hadn't done that before, but I don't know. I think there's something about Lauren and Jax when I was writing them. Like, I don't think I've ever had the feeling before where like I turned them into my editor and I missed them. I was like, I don't know what to do with myself without Lauren and Jax. Like, they are my friends. Give them back.
I love
Uh,
that.
and I think just I don't know. I did the epilogue and then I felt like there was still more things that I felt like I could tie up. Um, and there are parts throughout the book where they talk a little bit about their future together. And so it was really fun to get to kind of give them that, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's that's one reason why I love standalones. I read a ton of standalones, don't get me wrong. But I
Hmm.
love series because I get connected to the characters. And even if it's like,
Hmm.
the main characters switch off and like it goes to like another one in the friend group or however, I
Yeah.
still love being a part of that world and getting to live in it for as long as I can.
Yeah, exactly. Loving the interconnected standalones. It's been really
Yes,
fun to get to hang out with the characters longer and get to have them all together. And yeah.
exactly. I didn't even know an interconnected standalone was a thing until I joined Bookstagram. Like many things I didn't know. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I learned a lot since starting writing and then getting involved in that Bookstagram community as well.
yeah, it is like a never-ending information pool, and I love that.
hmm Yeah, it's a fun place to be.
Yeah. So I definitely was happy to see that there was not one, but two epilogues. If anybody listening reads this book and gets to experience them, you won't regret it. That's all I'm gonna say because I'm keeping the spoiler free, but highly, highly recommend.
Thank you.
I remember years ago when I read my first book, I was literally so engrossed that like, well, my first book for like fun, I walked around my kitchen in a daze because I just wanted to imagine what was gonna happen next.
Yeah. I love that.
So yeah, if you told me then that I would be like, if reading would become my life in so many ways, I wouldn't have believed you, and I'm so grateful that it has because it's the best.
hmm It is really cool that just words on a page can suck you in the way that they do and create this whole world that we all love.
I know, and we all get to enjoy it together.
hmm Exactly.
Well, I want to thank you so much again for coming on an episode and guesting with me. It was a pleasure to get to talk to you about this book. I've kept you on here for a minute, but before we go, would you like to tell our listeners what three words you would use to describe uprooting?
I think I would go with tender, uplifting, and funny.
Okay, that's like the perfect combination right there. A recipe for a feel-good time.
Yes. I love that. A recipe for a feel-good time.
I couldn't have picked three better ones. That was amazing. I always love surprising authors with that question because it's just like I want to know what three themes they would associate most. Because
hmm
sometimes it'll take you by surprise and it'll be one you're not
Yeah.
expecting, or maybe one you didn't pick up on, like as you know, like primary in that. So
Yeah. I
that's
think
what.
it's a fun question. I like it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for wanting to get on here and chat all things uprooting. To our listeners, I will link all of Jenna's socials and where to find her and info about her books in the description box so you can go check out her page, give her a follow, add her books to your TBR on Goodreads, and find everything you need to become her next biggest fan and stay up to date on all things to come in the future.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for just being an amazing guest and getting to yap with me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Of course. And we will catch you right here, same time next week, Book Space Besties.